Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, now let's start the conversation with consultants. Episode 67. Moving ahead, I am Rima Kumari, HR Associate and PCR Coordinator of SKNG.
And I'm Arpita, Research Associate Intern at SKANG, and we are your hosts for today's talk show.
Thank you
So,
so much.
before we begin our talk show, let me briefly introduce SK Associates and Group. We are an ISO certified management consulting firm registered under the MSMED Act 2006 with the Government of India. And our mission is to provide consulting services to student entrepreneurs globally, covering areas such as compliance, operations, marketing, research, etc. Our passion lies in helping these budding entrepreneurs bring their dreams to life and contribute to global economic growth.
Great.
Kindly introduce Diksha. Diksha.
Ma'am, you're not audible.
Kindly introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah. So I am PS Diksha Dubey. I am a qualified company secretary. I have post qualification experience of 4.5 years, and I am a fresh law graduate. I completed my LLB this year only, and at present I am the company secretary of GK Motors Limited. It is an SME IPO bound company. So, and I'm a regular faculty at my institute. I take classes, I conduct sessions over there. So, I'm a regular visitor at my institute.
Nice. Moving ahead, the only things that stand between you and your dream is the will to try and believe that is actually possible. It's a beautiful quote quoted by Joy Brown. So, with this quote, I could like to begin our talk so named Conversation with Consultants with episode 67 of our guest talk series. Um, Entrepreneurship is a catalyst for change and innovation. It's a powerful force that can reshape industries and transforms lives and make the world better place. We are committed to supporting students, entrepreneurs on their journey, to equip them with the tools, knowledge, network they need to succeed.
So now that we've begun our talk show, let's take a moment to introduce our guest for today. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome CS Diksha Dubey, Company Secretary at GK Motors Limited, for this special event. We are truly honored by your presence, ma'am, and we are thrilled to have you share this momentous occasion with us.
Thank you
So
so much.
we would like
I'm
to start.
overwhelmed to be here today. Yeah.
Great. So we would just like to start this interview with the very first question for you,
Sure.
and that is, what activities make you feel most engaged?
Okay. So, as a company secretary and as a lawyer, when I help when I help my founders and entrepreneurs solve complex problems, I help them in structuring their companies and drafting agreements, solving complex legal provisions into simpler ones which make sense. I feel very much alive when I'm doing all these things in my company. So it really excites me to see that how legal structuring actually helps in the growth of business.
Okay, ma'am. Your next question is, what topics do you enjoy discussing?
As a like if since I'm a company secretary, I can go on for hours discussing about entrepreneurship, corporate governance, provisions of Companies Act, which I'm mostly dealing with, and finance also. Although finance is not my niche area, but I love discussing about finance. And since the current buzzing topic of the generation is sustainability, so I also like to discuss more with my directors, the founders of my company, about sustainability. I always try to make them understand that the ultimate motive of any business should not only be profit earning. It should also be how you can survive your business with sustainable components. Sustainability is as much important as profitability. This is what I try to make my founders, my director understand in most of the meetings that I do with them.
Great, ma'am. So my next question is, what values do you want to uphold in your work?
Okay. For me, the most valuable attributes that all the people involved in an organization should possess, it is integrity and transparency. There should be transparency in all kind of dealings, and there should not be any shortcuts in corporates. शॉर्टकट से कुछ टाइम के लिए आपको सक्सेस मिल सकता है, बट इन द लॉन्ग रन ओनली एथिक्स एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी विल हेल्प यू रन योर बिजनेस सक्सेसफुली. लॉन्ग रन के लिए अकाउंटेबिलिटी एंड इंटेग्रिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है.
Nice. Moving ahead, your next question is, ma'am, how do you want to make a difference?
Like in what way?
In finance?
Okay, so as I am mostly dealing in provisions of law, so I want to help my company in bridging the gap between innovative ideas, because my company is an EV company. It is a startup company. So I help my entrepreneurs, I help my founders in bridging the gap between innovative ideas which they come up with very frequently, and the complex legal systems that they need to incorporate in those ideas to function them completely and viably. So because I have always seen that too many startups, almost 70% of the startups, they die in the very first 5 years of their starting, in their commencement. So I want to make them understand that governance is equally important, right, with their startup ideas. Businesses don't just thrive with आइडियाज को थ्राइव करने के लिए आपको गवर्नेंस, आपको एथिक्स और आपको लीगैलिटी के साथ साथ भी काम करना जरूरी है. दिस इज व्हाट आई ट्राई टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड. Because my founders also, even before I joined this company, they always used to think कि compliance एक burden है. Hiring a compliance manager is a burden on them, क्योंकि उनका costing बढ़ जाता है. And they always think कि आपका output क्या रहेगा, what you are giving to the company. So always trying to make them understand कि हाँ, compliance officer कितना जरूरी है company के लिए. It's a big deal. There are hardly few investors and few companies, few management who understand the importance of compliance and governance.
Yes, ma'am, definitely. It holds great importance. So, my next question is, what sparks your curiosity?
Going by this question, I'm always I'm very curious by nature. As far as startup is concerned, I sometimes feel that how sometimes a very small idea which people note down in their notebooks, how it becomes such a big business and people are able to scale it along with staying compliant. These things always keep hovering in my mind, that how entrepreneurs are able to scale their businesses right from a small idea, and they are also able to stay compliant besides being scaling their businesses. So ये curiosity मेरे दिमाग में हमेशा रहता है. For a fresher or a new company secretary who is just very new into the industry, who is having only 4-5 years of experience, so I can't think from their perspective. Ki sometimes I think about Reliance Industries, TCS. These are huge companies. How their compliance is always intact, how they are able to work in a very legal environment. So these things always keep knocking my mind कि business को scale भी करना है, compliant रह के how is it possible, and how company secretaries and how legal professionals are able to do it.
Nice. Your next question is, ma'am, what challenges do you want to overcome?
Challenges in what sense? Can you just elaborate your question?
Ma'am, in your designation.
Okay. तो सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज, जैसे मैंने आप लोगों को पहले भी बताया, कि फाउंडर्स के दिमाग से ये चीज हटाना कि कॉम्प्लायंस एक बर्डन है. आई वांट देम टू सी दैट कॉम्प्लायंस इज नॉट अ बर्डन ऑन एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. इट इज योर वे टू सक्सेस. They have to see that compliance leads to strategic advantage, and this is something which actually attracts all the stakeholders and investors. आपका कंपनी compliant नहीं रहेगा तो कोई भी इन्वेस्टर उसमें पैसा नहीं लगाएगा. तो always making them think कि हाँ, compliance is equally important, क्योंकि most of the time the directors, the founders, they put more emphasis on sales, finance, accounts. They put more emphasis on these departments, and they ignore compliance completely. The compliance thing is completely left on us as company secretaries. अगर कोई loophole हो जाता है तो they just come and scold us कि ये mismanagement कैसे रह गया, ये penalty कैसे आ गई. But at the same time, they are never very curious कि हाँ timely compliance हो रहा है कि नहीं. So I just want to make them understand that compliance is not a burden. It's equally important apart from other departments.
Okay, ma'am. So my next question is, how does your passion relate to real world issues?
How does my passion कि आज के समय में देखिए सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम जो है वो सस्टेनेबिलिटी को लेके ही है. तो मेरा है कि मैं अपने प्रोफेशन में कैसे रहते हुए वही है कि मैं अपने प्रोफेशन में रहते हुए कैसे कंपनी का जो कॉम्प्लायंस है उसको कंप्लीट करूं, टाइमली कंप्लीट करूं, कंपनी के ऊपर पेनल्टीज ना आए, डिस्प्यूट ना हो किसी तरह का. और इस तरह से आई वांट टू मेक अ डिफरेंस कि हाँ विदाउट अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी एंड विद अ कंपनी सेक्रेटरी कंपनी कितनी दूर तक जा सकती है. तो ये एक डिफरेंस क्रिएट करना और मैनेजमेंट को फिर ये चीज रियलाइज करवाना, ये मेरे लिए मतलब कि ये एक रियल इशू हो जाता है हम लोगों के लिए. क्योंकि मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम मैनेजमेंट डजंट सी एनी रियल इनपुट कंपनी सेक्रेटरी या लीगल प्रोफेशनल्स जो देते हैं. उनको बाकी डिपार्टमेंट्स का तो इनपुट दिखता है बट हमारे डिपार्टमेंट का इनपुट नहीं दिखता है. तो मेकिंग देम रियलाइज दिस कि सस्टेनेबिलिटी के साथ साथ हम लोग भी जो आपको इनपुट दे रहे हैं कंपनी को एथिकली और कंप्लीटली गवर्नेंस के अकॉर्डिंग चलाने में जो हम लोग हेल्प कर रहे हैं, आप भी उस चीज को एक्नॉलेज करिए. ये एक्नॉलेजमेंट मिलना मुश्किल हो जाता है. तो ये एक रियल चैलेंज होता है कंपनी सेक्रेटरीज के लिए.
So, ma'am, your next question is, how can your skill help solve problems?
देखिए क्योंकि मेरा डोमेन लीगल है तो आई ऑलवेज ट्राई टू इंश्योर कि जो मैं ड्राफ्टिंग करती हूँ दैट इज ऑलवेज लाइक व्हेन एवर आई एम ड्राफ्टिंग एनी अग्रीमेंट और आई एम स्ट्रक्चरिंग ESOPs एम्प्लॉय स्टॉक ऑप्शन प्लान्स, तो I am able to simplify the complex tax provisions into simpler ones ताकि सामने वाले को समझने में कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो. और मुश्किल काम यही होता है कि आप लेमैन के लैंग्वेज में ड्राफ्टिंग करो कि और आपका जो ड्राफ्टिंग हो दैट शुड बी वाटर टाइट ताकि सामने वाला जो पार्टी है वो आपके ड्राफ्टिंग में कहीं कुछ लूप होल निकाल के अपने उसको बेनिफिट में यूज ना कर ले. तो एज अ CS एंड एज अ लीगल प्रोफेशनल मेरा जो कोर डोमेन है दैट इज ड्राफ्टिंग. तो आई वाज इंश्योर कि ड्राफ्टिंग मेरी स्ट्रांग रहे और इससे कंपनी को मतलब हमेशा बेनिफिट ही हो. Just one minute.
Definitely,
Just
ma'am.
one. I'll just take a minute. I'll just take a minute. Just a minute. Yeah. Yeah. Am I visible now?
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, relating to the everyday issues. So, while working, you make certain assumptions. So, how do you validate your assumptions?
I work on my problems and I ensure कि हम सामने वालों से फीडबैक लेने की कोशिश करते हैं और फीडबैक की मदद से मैं समझने की कोशिश करती हूँ कि वेयर द गैप्स आर एक्चुअली. सो आई एम ऑन अ रेगुलर बेसिस आई एम ऑन डिस्कशन विथ माय फाउंडर्स. मेरी कंपनी में जो इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनसे, और हम लोग इंक्यूबेटर्स भी रखे हुए हैं, तो उन लोगों से मेरा रेगुलर बेसिस पे डिस्कशन होता रहता है एंड दे हेल्प मी इन गिविंग प्रॉपर, दे गिव मी प्रॉपर फीडबैक एंड दे मेक मी रियलाइज वेयर द एक्चुअल गैप्स आर.
Ma'am, your next question is, how can you contribute to solving these problems?
क्योंकि देखिए कंपनीज जनरली वही डूबती हैं जिसका कॉर्पोरेट गवर्नेंस पुअरली मैनेज्ड रहता है. सो as a company secretary, my responsibility is to make sure that the company is fully compliant with all the applicable provisions and there is strong corporate governance. I ensure मतलब I have reach in almost all the departments of my organization and I make sure I also plan schedules and plan checkboxes for all my departments. So I always make sure that all the departments are equally compliant. So as a company secretary, मेरा responsibility है कि corporate governance strictly follow होता है company में, क्योंकि since we are moving into IPO very soon, so इस वक्त ये चीज देखना मेरे लिए काफी important रहता है. I hope this interview is also possible in Hindi if I am using Hindi in between. Is there any issue with that?
No, ma'am.
No,
I'm
ma'am.
sure.
Okay.
Ma'am, my next question is, how does your day look like? I mean, like, what are your work hours? Is it exhausting?
Every day is a challenge. Since we are working in private sector, I believe that every day is a challenge and full of new learnings. Full of new learnings. Every day I face things which I haven't seen in the past. So I'm constantly going through provisions, discussing with my management, discussing with other departments, continuously doing meetings, meeting deadlines. So every day is a challenge. And when we are close to board meetings or AGMs, the condition is much more pathetic.
Ma'am, your next question is what evidence supports to need for solution?
What evidence?
What evidence supports the needs for a solution?
Actually, I'm telling you one real life example. In my previous company, there was a shareholder agreement which was drafted much earlier before I had joined, and there were some clauses in that agreement which was not properly drafted, and it gave the shareholder an edge of claiming over the company. So these are some of the few examples, like when your drafting is not very strong, not very watertight, or when you are drafting something and you are ignoring the tax compliances or tax applicability, so it creates a problem for the company. So drafting and tax implications, keeping both of them in mind while drafting something is equally important.
Yes, ma'am. My next question is, how do you handle obstacles and changing circumstances?
How do you handle?
Obstacles and changing circumstances.
Yeah. So what in my field, laws are constantly changing. What is relevant today, it might change. It might not be relevant tomorrow because laws are completely changing. So what I ensure is I am constantly in touch with my senior professionals or my colleagues. I keep myself updated with the latest amendments in the laws, and these are the ways I keep myself updated. And फिर अपना काम हो जाता है, फिर ऐसी कोई दिक्कत आती नहीं है. हाँ, अपडेटेड रहना हमारी फील्ड में सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है. And constantly upgrading your drafting skills. That is equally important. Like I completed my CS in the year 2021. So अगर if I think कि मैंने 4 साल पहले पढ़ाई कर ली थी and I don't need to go through my books, go through the provisions again, so I'll be outdated. I won't be able to work for the company because since 2001 and today we are standing at 2005, there have been humongous changes in companies law, in the MCA portal, in SEBI regulations. There have been innumerable changes. Every single day or every other day, SEBI, MCA is coming with some other amendments, changes, and we have to keep them in mind. And what we do in our company, I have specially brought this thing when I joined here in February. Every month, I hold a special session for my directors, and there, what I do, I make a PowerPoint presentation. I inform them about all the regulatory changes that have come up in the month. So I also try to keep them updated and ensure, and I also tell them about the problems, technical problems that we face sometimes, maybe in the MCA portal or the stock exchange portal or the RBI FEMA portal. So I also make them see the real exam. I also make them see the reality. I also open my laptop in front and see that the websites don't work functional. They don't function on days. So it's really hard to meet the compliance on in a stricter deadline. So I have made this habit in my company, and they are quite happy about it.
Nice. Ma'am, your next question is how will you stay motivated?
Yeah. So the key to staying motivated is like if you're, yeah, just like my earlier answer, if you are updated, if you are well learned, if you have the requisite experience, you have well set or you have a good set of people who encourage you, who are of your domain, and you people who support you. So that's enough to keep me motivated. The main crux is to stay updated and well informed. If you are well informed, you will automatically be motivated, and you will also be helped in motivating your juniors who will look up to you as a motivator. So the ultimate thing is to be well informed, to continuously keep on reading. That's the way to stay motivated. And yeah, it's also about learning new things. Like since we have AI is gradually creeping into our lives, so we have to understand that how we can how we can ensure compliance with the help of AI. So learning AI is equally important. Apart from learning, AI is also equally important.
So, ma'am, relating to this only, how do you see AI coming into the kind of work you're doing right now? How will it take over, or maybe it will be assistance only? How it's going to look?
Yeah, there are numerous debates that AI will take up our jobs and will be jobless. So what I feel is, as far as I've been using AI for past some time, what I feel is AI won't be taking up our jobs. AI will only be helping us in performing better. Because I have been using certain applications like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini AI, whatever it is. So I have always seen that AI is helping me to perform better. It hasn't taken up the job as of now. Maybe in the coming next 5 to 10 years, certain applications, certain AI applications will be developed which can actually take up our job as a company secretary or as a legal professional, particularly related to drafting. That may be possible, but when it comes to giving customized advisory solutions, only humans can do that. Only learned humans can do that. Otherwise, AI is not going to replace, AI is only going to enhance our working.
Ma'am, your next question is, what can you learn from failures?
Uh, Failures are actually lessons, as everyone says, and even I feel that failures help me in like coming better in my next attempt. And yeah, this is it. Failure helps me. I am not demotivated. I'm personally talking about my own experiences. I have seen a lot of failures in my life. I had my own fair share of failures. So uh, I always jot down the points or moments where I fail, and I always ensure that such mistakes are not repeated. And it might be divine. You may call it divine, but I always learn from my past experiences where I fall back. So I try to ensure that such mistakes or such loopholes are not carried forward in my next future journey.
Great, ma'am.
And the more failures you face in life, your success rate will be improving only, because with one mistake, with one failure, you can analyze that in future also you can fail in a similar situation like that, so your success rate improves.
That's true, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next question is someone, like in their 20s or maybe like even, in teens who are aspiring a career like yours, or, maybe wants to pursue CS or anything related to it. So, what would be some like advices or recommendations you would give to them?
So that's a good question. So as a CS, I won't be promoting my profession, but I understand. Before I stepped into this profession, I was very unsure, like what CS actually talks about, what CS actually holds. But when I completed my studies and I ventured into jobs, then I realized that the role of CS is equally important, because when we see a chartered accountant or a cost accountant, their role is limited outside the board. They don't step into the board, and they are not into a position to advise the board of directors. The directors always seek our advice. So we have to be very much aware and very much abreast with the provisions. And as our PM, our Honorable PM Narendra Modi ji, has a vision that he wants to have a Viksit Bharat by 2047. And at present, we are about 80,000 company secretaries in India. And our PM Narendra Modi ji has a vision to have around 3.5 lakh company secretaries by 2047. So even our prime minister is giving emphasis on the role of company secretaries. He understands that company secretaries are the pillars of economic prosperity of of any economy. So since we are company secretaries, what we ensure is we help to ensure that companies are functioning ethically and legally. So किसी भी इकोनॉमी को आगे ग्रो करने के लिए ये बहुत ही जरूरी है. इकोनॉमी तभी प्रॉस्पर करेगी जब उसकी कंपनीज, इस इकोनॉमी में फंक्शन करने वाली कंपनीज ethically grow कर रही हैं, and they are well compliant, they are using best corporate governance practices, then only any economy can prosper. So now I realize that I have chosen a very reliable profession, and it is going to have a good future ahead in years to come. The only thing our profession, not just our profession, in fact, every profession, every profession requires continuous learning and upgrading.
Nice. It sounds good, ma'am. Your next question is, what support system do you need?
Support system, I need, actually, I don't seek validation. Support system is like I need tech friendly economy out just beside me, like the system where I'm working or the IT team. So these things have to be well managed. कि मतलब अभी डेडलाइन आ रहा है और सिस्टम काम नहीं कर रहा है, तो इन सब चीजों का सपोर्ट बहुत जरूरी होता है. एंड इक्वली द मैनेजमेंट सपोर्ट इज इम्पोर्टेंट.
Okay, ma'am. So my next question is, how do you define yourself as a leader?
How do I define when I don't define? As a leader, my only aim, because I have some interns under me, working under me. So I always believe that when you are true to your work and when you are maintaining all positive attributes, like you have integrity, you are accountable to the management, you have ethics, you are transparent. So these attributes are enough to motivate anyone to work harder, to work quicker. And this is why maybe some of my juniors always tell me, ma'am, that ma'am, when you are just working with us, when you are guiding us, we feel motivated and we are able to complete our work much faster. So maybe that can be a thing. So yeah, it's always important to have good attributes when you are working as a professional. We are professionals as a company secretary and as a lawyer. We are professionals and we are representing our company. And at the end of the day, we are representing our nation. So when we are true to ourselves, so automatically we will be other people will be judging us as a good leader.
Ma'am, your next question is, how do you measure success when solving problems that matter to you?
How do you measure success?
How do you measure success when solving problems that matter to you?
Okay, so when my client is satisfied, when my investors are happy, when my management is happy about my work, so that is I feel that yeah, I have worked hard and I have been able to deliver results, and I feel that yeah, this particular thing has given me success, so I feel happy about it. When the people I'm working with, they are happy with me, my investors, my founders, the stakeholders, the investors, everyone, they are happy with my work, so I feel that yeah, I'm successful. I'm able to deliver result. That's the main thing to say.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, my next question is, how should one schedule their day for success in life?
How should one?
Schedule their day for success in
Okay.
life.
So, planning your day beforehand is very important. Like what you're going to do the next day, planning it just a night before. And what is effective, what I have felt in my career is maintaining a diary, maintaining a journal, like what you're supposed to do on your next day, what are your targets, what are your deadlines. So in this way, you can successfully plan your activities, and it will gradually, it might seem very stupid in the very initial period, but in the long run you will realize that you have been able to finish all the deliverables, and that have equally worked as well. And there are no laid backs, anything as such. Everything is completed timely, and you are also able to give some personal time to your own hobbies and leisures. So planning everything ahead of the day is very important. Just getting up in the morning, going to office, sorry, checking what is to be done, that won't help you. That can go only for some time. But if you want to deliver results and you want to grow in your company, grow in any organization that you are working with, planning ahead is very important. And that planning will only be fruitful if you're noting down everything, because our mind is full of various things. So many things are going around us. But when we note down the things that we are supposed to do, it actually gives us clarity. That's important.
Sound good, ma'am. Moving ahead, your next question is, what skills do you need to develop to solve the problems you are passionate about?
Uh, I need going by my own personal experience. I need to have a stronger niche and in accounts and finance. Although these are not my domain, but I feel that I want to develop more knowledge in accounting and finance, and also ensure that how the corporate governance structure of my organization should be devised so that it can grow more higher. So this is what I think. I need to develop more knowledge about accounting and finance, so that I can also give advisory solutions in finance domain. Because my in my whatever I've learned, because as a profession in the CS and lawyer, so accounting and finance is not given that much due importance in our field. But I have my personal preference that I want to dive deeper into accounting and finance, and also into corporate governance, because corporate governance is a notion of opportunities. What we do in our companies is just a bit of it. So I want to dive deeper into these subjects and implement all those in my companies.
Great, ma'am. So moving ahead, my next question is, who is someone in your profession or in your life in general you admire, and well, why do you admire them if you do so?
I have one independent director in my company. He has personally helped me grow as an individual. Apart from as a professional, he has helped me grow as an individual. I really look up to him. You may say that he's a great mentor. He's a qualified company secretary having post qualification experience of 25 years. So he has plethora of knowledge with him, and he actually knows how to deal with complex situations. Where we falter, it is our independent director who helps and guides us a lot. So I look up to him as a mentor, and I just regret that why had I not met him much earlier in my life. So he's an independent director in my company. Like in my past 4 years of journey, he's the best mentor that I've met.
Ma'am, your next question is, how do you identify problems that align with your passion?
Problems that align with my passion. So my passion is basically making drafting good in a all those things in a very simpler way, drafting agreements and contract drafting, all those things. So I just want you to repeat the question. I just got confused. Yeah, kindly repeat the question.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
Hmm.
Um, how do you identify problems that align with your passion?
Yeah. So since my passion is drafting and ensuring corporate governance, so the problems that I face in my way is just that I also said to you earlier, that making the management realize that giving due importance to corporate governance is very important, and this is something which they try to ignore most of the time. So in my passion to working as a successful corporate leader, as a successful corporate secretary, so these things come in my way, and most of the time I spend in making them understand that yeah, the job of a corporate secretary, of a lawyer, is very much important. And if you want to go, because my company is thinking of raising some 500 crores of rupees in the IPO, so I'm already guiding them in the way that our corporate structure, our uh, organization structure should be well managed so that investors trust us and they invest in our company. So these problems, like making them understand this thing, is quite difficult. But yeah, at the end of the day, all my efforts do bear fruits.
Great, ma'am. So my next question is that what has been your biggest failure till now in life, and what did it teach you, and what did you learn from it?
There hasn't been any such big failure, I would say. Almost every day, I find myself faltering at some points, at some complex situations. from which I take the help of my seniors, my management. I take the help of my bare axe provisions to come out of those situations. So there hasn't been any such failure in my life till date. I pray to God that there doesn't come any day. Yeah, apart from my professional career, I have faced failures. That is a different thing that we shouldn't be discussing. But yeah, in my professional career, I haven't faced any such failure. That has actually impacted me a lot. I have always tried to build such great relations with my management team, with my colleagues, with my seniors, that if there is any situation where I am not able to deliver any solution, I always look up to them and they are able to guide me well. So from this answer, I can just summarize that networking is very important in life. Just sticking to your chair and working all the day and not networking with people won't help you in the long run. Networking with good people, networking with learned people is very important.
Ma'am, what resources do you need to solve the problems?
What resources? Problems can be of any kind. The resources that I basically require in my share of problems that I face is I need a very understanding management, because the problems that we face in our field, it isn't something that is unmanageable. They are manageable, but making the management realize that yeah, it's manageable and it can be done within the due time, that's a problematic situation. Because management doesn't see the real problem that we are facing. They are just busy negotiating with investors, taking funds. They are more engaged in tech and funding, but they don't actually see the back end thing that we do for the company. So making them understand is a problematic thing.
Ma'am, I was just curious about one thing. Since you're so passionate about what you do, and it can be seen by your answers. So, did you always wanted to become company secretary, or you had some other plans, or you switched or something?
I definitely had some other plans. CS was never on my mind. Uh, I joined CS just by seeing my senior. When there was one senior in my building, she was already pursuing CS. So I thought of pursuing CS as well. And even at the time of enrollment, I wasn't sure that what will I actually study in CS and what will I actually do as a company secretary. It was only when I completed CS and when I joined my first company, my first job role as a company secretary in my very first organization was very difficult, because that was my first step into the corporate world. I didn't know anything. So there again, as I said, that I made a very good relation with a senior Didi in that company. She used to guide me, like how the management actually wants the things to be done. And most of the time, whenever I used to get some spare time, I used to go through the past workings of the previous company secretary. So constantly, I used to do research work. When most of the staff used to go out in the evening for having snacks or for having tea, I used to sit back in my office and do all the research, like what should I be doing in the next day, what all filings, what all drafting has been done in the past. So my first year of my career as a company secretary was full of research. Yeah, I also faced scoldings from my management for my drafting skills, for my email writing. So that only shaped me to work better. So when I went to my second company, I paid special emphasis on drafting emails, particularly to the management. So yeah, these were, and yeah, if you ask me what I actually wanted to be, I actually wanted to be a doctor. But as we grow up, it's said na, that our plans change. So I wanted to be a doctor initially, but I was scared of science. When I passed my class 10th exams, and although my marks were decent, were very good, but I was scared of the long hours that science students need to put in their studies, because I had my cousin brother who had actually taken up science and used to study 10 to 12 hours every day. So that was not my cup of tea to study for so long hours. I was actually a night owl. I used to study late at night. I used to get up late in the morning. So I took up the safer option. I wanted to take up arts. When I saw that my marks are decent, but I don't want to take science, my personal choice was arts because I was at that time, my plan again changed. I wanted to become a UPSC aspirant. But my mother once again told me that you have got such great marks, you are not taking up science. Why are you going for arts? What would I say to the society? What would I say to the relatives that she is choosing arts against that or stereotype mind? So instead of making her understand, I chose the safer option. I chose commerce. And again, when I stepped into commerce, accounting was a dreadful thing for me. I was always scared of accounts. Again, I scored very good marks in my class 12th in accounting. But again, I never wanted to take that as my career. So I didn't opt for CA. I again chose a safer option. I chose CS because, yeah, I was always interested in drafting and theory subjects were very, they were favorite to me. I used to understand theory subjects very well. I was good at drafting. I was good at speaking. My public speaking skills were quite good. Am I visible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Oh, okay, yeah, there was some technical issue. So, yeah, so my journey as a CS was not much planned ahead. It just came with time. But now, yeah, now I'm happy about choosing this profession. And since I added law profession with this, so I'm happy about my career. And I can see that how I can scale my career in the long run. Am I
Ma'am, your next,
visible also to everyone?
ma'am, your next question is, what are the steps involved in incorporating a company?
You're not audible.
What are the steps involved in incorporating a company?
In incorporating the company. Okay, fine. So the first thing that the management should decide, like, what is the purpose of incorporating a company? They should have a very objective. They should have a very legal object of incorporating a company. Their object should be legal, and then they can move ahead with incorporation. Like they need to reserve a name for the company, which shouldn't be similar to the name of any existing company. And once the name gets approved, they have to fill the forms on the NCA portal. There are several forms: Part A, Part B, Part C, and they have to they have to draft the articles of association of the company. They have to properly draft the memorandum of the company. So when these draftings are done, they just need to apply. And at the same time, we can also apply for GST, PS, ESI registration certificates. These things can also be applied for at the same time while incorporating a company. Drafting is very important while incorporating a company, so that when the company is already in place and the management wants to take up a corporate action, they don't have to alter the articles once again. So their drafting should be kept in mind. Their drafting should be done keeping the vision of the directors in mind. Is there any technical problem that I can see that Pita is not visible and even you are not visible? I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Ma'am, there might be some internet issues at your end because your voice is also, breaking sometimes.
Okay, but am I visible?
Yeah, you're visible, but your video is like breaking a lot of times.
Okay. And just try to
Yes, ma'am.
switch the network once. Uh, is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am. Are you able to see us?
Yeah, I'm able to see. Again, the public relations girl is not visible.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, you are visible. Both of you are visible now. Okay.
Okay, so that was the last question, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving us your precious time and this, comprehensive conversation. We literally enjoyed it. And moving ahead, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to you, CS Diksha Dubey, Company Secretary at GK Motors Limited, for being a guest for today at Conversation with Consultants. Your presence and engagement helped us to make it a success. Thank you for providing insights into your inspirational journey.
Yeah, thank you so much for just inviting me to your platform and delivering such a session. I am grateful to SNG Associates.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah, SNG Associates. Yeah, I have been in touch with I don't remember the ma'am's name. Her surname is Naidu.
yes, ma'am. Feel it,
Yeah.
Naidu.
Yeah. So I have been constantly in touch with her in Facebook for the last 2 years, and it is after 2 years that I got an opportunity to deliver a session on your platform. So I'm actually grateful and very thankful. Thank you once again for such a great session, for
Thank you.
bearing with me, for bearing with me and giving me such tough questions to answer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Further, we could also like to thank our audience for listening patiently throughout the event. Thank you everyone for joining with us today and hope that everyone has gained some knowledge from this event. Looking ahead, we are excited to announce that our next episode 68 of our conversation with consultants will be held next weekend. We hope to see you all there. Thank you again, and we look forward to reconnecting with you next week. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on social media handles to stay connected with us. Goodbye and have a great day ahead. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, both of you. Thank you.